Noisy. Hi folks, it's Rich here, and in my hands today is another Harley Benton. Harley Benton number 20. Oh yes, this is my 20th Harley Benton, which is ridiculous as we all know, but it is what it is. So, why have I bought this? Well, I've always fancied a Strat, boop, 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 with a mini humbucker in a bridge. Never had one of those, considering this is guitar number 97 now. You'd have thought I've had one. Anyway, so what do you get for your budget-friendly Harley Benton? Now, I've had 20, as I just mentioned. I picked this one up yesterday from a really nice guy called Stu, who's in a band. He's a proper rocking, rolly kind of dude. And it cost me £80, 80. Need some new strings. These have been on for a while, I think. But otherwise, it's absolutely immaculate. Let's have a little close-up, shall we, of it. A Pal Ferro fretboard, which I'm not averse to. I prefer it to Indian Laurel. The nut is cut really very nicely. It's this ST-62, so it's like the vintage series, but with a hot rod on the back. I really like the back of this neck. Look at the colour. Lighting's not great, but it's nice. It's got just a really nice stain to it. It's not sticky. It's satin, but it's really, really nice. Usual quite small block, no big deal. I'm not really a fan of tortoiseshell pick guards, but hey, not going to cry over about that. And look, boink, it's got a pushy pulley for that mini humbucker. And the action on this is set nice and low. I'm really impressed with it. I picked it up yesterday, and I've done nothing but have a sort of tinker around with it, really. Let's get this back off here. Don't turn it down. And it's yeah. It's just really nice. It's got the sort of vintage style tuners on it as well. And I say it's just cost me £80, but I thought let's have something flexible, you know, a little mini humbucker. Always fancied the idea of one of those. Oh dear. Gone out of tune. Bit better. Not brilliantly in tune. Yes, really could do with replacing the strings. Anyway. So 13.75 inch radius fretboard and C shape. So it's funny because it's not actually all that fat. It doesn't. It's obviously not shreddy. It's a little bit getting your hand around it for little average hands like me. A little bit harder, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't feel like you're in unfamiliar territory. It's super ringy as well. Really resonant, far more than I thought. In fact, if I unplugged, it has plenty to say for itself unplugged. Second position. If I tune it, I'll only go back out of tuning fairly promptly. It's been hardtailed, which is obviously a good thing. Middle. Jangle, bridge and middle. It's probably the only position I'm a bit less keen on without any drive on the clean channel. And then the neck full humbucker, way more output. And then if I take that split out, you get the usual bridge horrible sound. I don't like Strat bridges. Just too puny, aren't they? A bit sort of shrill. That's just me. Anyway, and then with some crunch on it, which is one of the reasons for having this humbucker on the bridge, isn't it, really? It's good. And you heard on the when I just kind of an intro, that was on the overdrive. This is on crunch. That was on overdrive. If I pull that out, tell you what we'll do. Let's take this. Oh, come out. Got an angled jack. Don't know why I've got one of those in here. Let's just quickly put my Harley Benton SC-400, plug that in, which is obviously big, fat, chunky body, proper humbucker and all that. That's interesting. That is interesting. Now, the switch on this is the wrong way around, so that's got rhythm now. This is actually the neck. What volume have I got that on? Let's put it on 10. I'm sure the Strat is way louder than that. Those humbuckers are set quite high as well. They're close to the strings, more so than this. Let's put that back in there, and let's put the volume on 10 on this one to make it fair. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe about the same. Maybe about the same. So there you go. So you can play rocky stuff on this. I mean, I'm just using the Blackstar V2 10 watt amp. So, you know, sound quality, and that's not brilliant. But yeah, what can I tell you about this versus all the other Harley Bentons I've had? This is my 4th or 5th ST-62, but those have all been standard ones. Obviously, I haven't got the humbucker and the bridge. But actually, all the ST-62s I've had, they've all been decent when I've got them. You know, no sharp fret ends. In fact, on this, they even feel, I'm sure they can't be, but no, they feel rolled, sort of smooth. All the ST-62s I've had have been good. The tuners, for what they are, you know, sort of cheap Clusen style copies, work well. And the nut's been fine on all of them. They've all been really good, actually. And of all the Harley Bentons I've had just generally, this is probably in the top 3, really, for how I like it and how I feel it is. Full thickness body, if that's important to some people as well. It's not overly heavy. I haven't weighed it, but I'm guessing it's about 3 kilos. So probably about 6 and a bit pounds. But yeah, it's got all the stratty kind of tones you want, but that bridge just gives you something more usable, I think. Okay, you can split it and it sounds, you know, similar to a Strat bridge pickup. I suppose the only thing that you might say, the Roswell pickups, then, you know, they're not the most clear and the highest output, but 80 quid. In the UK, if you buy from Toma now, these are 133 plus delivery, so I think they'll be probably 142 pounds. So I picked this up second hand, and this for me is where Harley Benton is a win on the guitars. I know some people have spent decent money on, like Carsten, Neil Gain Dane. He spent good money on some of the more expensive Harley Bentons. I have a bit of a struggle in my brain on spending too much on a Harley Benton. I view it as a budget brand that I also want to get on the cheap. If that makes any sense. I wouldn't feel comfortable spending like £250 or £300 or something, even though spec for spec they're still great quality and you get a lot more on them than you can with other guitars. If I was going to spend sort of £250, £300 or maybe even more in some cases, if you went for an Amarok or one of the new Fusions, I really would start looking around on the used market for something else that's got more second-hand value and more headstock snobbery, I suppose. It's, you know, we're conditioned, aren't we, about brands and so on. But I think if for proper budget, you get a good one like this, can't go wrong. And it's also made me think, whilst we're on this, if anyone's still listening, well done you. It's also made me think about whether I really want to spend £400 or something more on a, you know, second-hand made in Mexico Fender something or another. You know, that video I put out recently, because I was going to spend a bit more and get something a bit better again, but I get bored with everything. It's just the way it is. I'm just an unhappy soul, constantly disappointed by life and disappointed by stuff, and I get bored with things. Now, the fact that I've had 170 sets of golf clubs probably tells you one story, and 97 guitars tells another. So whilst it can be inspirational, I remember Cat Mini commenting when I had Savannah, the beautiful PRS, I did play it more and it did help me push on a little bit. And seeing it in your room, sure, there's a little bit more inspiration to it because of the iconicness, I guess, of the brand and a bit more quality, but ultimately that still got sold, didn't it? So I think if I ended up, I don't know, I just don't think I'd ever be happy enough just to go, yeah, that's great, and keep something, when you can spend £80 on something like this that actually plays really well, and then the enjoyment in it is getting a little kick out of it in your mind. It's only cost me £80. It's nothing. It's a non-jeopardy cost, isn't it? But actually it plays well too. So yeah, it's still got the cellophane on the pickguard. So yeah, there we go. If you're thinking of getting one of these, certainly any ST-62 I've had have been good, and I particularly like this one. That I think that humbucker really gives it something usable. I would certainly recommend it. Don't think twice. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're still here, well done you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.